Namaste, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10 o'clock, Monday, the 16th of January, the second, what I would call normal week back in 2023, because the first week's always a bit disjointed, isn't it? It's always a bit like feeling your feet. It's halfway through the week anyway, and there's all sorts of holidays and things to get organised to get back to the inverted commas normal. Is there a normal these days though? Everything's so different, isn't it? How are you? Hope you're well. We're live as usual, talking about property as we always do. A few things to report to you on that. Went away this weekend and the guys were very busy here. So Monday's one of those days where we're collating all the offers that came in over the weekend. We've got lots of rental properties that we need to agree, and also sales properties as well. We agreed a fantastic sale off Green Lane, which is a really popular area for us, without even showing it. It's not even come to market. And again, it's gone. We've done that a few times in that area. It's so popular at the moment. So if you think of selling in that area and you want a really discreet sale, we can help. Apart from that, going away over the weekend, something occurred to me. I was out getting a coffee and I changed from normal milk to soya. And my daughter's a vegan, and kind of like whenever we go out for a meal, it always seems a bit weird when anyway, they come over with the coffee. So there's your coffee, madam. That's the normal one. And there's the soya one. I thought, that must really annoy you if you're a vegan, and they bring over the meals and say, oh, there's the normal one. Just tickled me, that's all. So how are you? Hope you're well. Few items in the headlines today. The first one is from Rightmove. It's reported that house prices for UK homes rose for the first time in 2 months as the housing market showed signs of calming after the turmoil triggered by the mini budget. So it's a bit more than that, all sorts of reasons, including property price, property interest rate rises on the base rate, and mortgage rises as well. But nonetheless, we're starting to see some green shoots early, and that doesn't surprise me. It will surprise many, because many people have been talking about doom and gloom this year. But I've said for a long time, things are very different. They're different for a number of reasons. And here's one of them, actually. This is another article in The Guardian this time. It says that councils in England have scaled back or paused their social house building plans after the government said there'll no longer be a mandatory target of 300,000 homes. Well, 300,000 homes is widely felt by experts to be under the amount that we really need. But they reckon that alone is going to lead between 50 and 100,000 home shortfall. Just in that one sweeping piece of policy, they've wiped away a load of new homes. And what does that mean for the market? Well, it means that we've still got the supply, we've still got the demand rather, and we've got less supply, and there's no new supply coming down the pipeline. So it's bad news for renters and buyers alike, really. But if you're a seller, that undersupply will always drive prices and will always underpin the market, and also underpin rents, which have been nuts, I know. Next article comes from The Telegraph. Interest rate rises and stricter mortgage rules have pushed ownership out of reach for many young people. And so parents are handing over their inheritances earlier than they normally would. Don't wait up, kids, if you're looking. That's my children, that's 4, by the way. But they're saying that the so-called bank of mum and dad has been increasingly relied upon by first-time buyers amid the turmoil in the mortgage market, according to research. A survey of 350 agents found that a third had recorded an increase in buyers relying on parents to help fund their property purchase. And in fact, we've even seen grandparents, which is lovely, helping out just recently. And, you need to pull your resources, don't you, to help the family. It's just what you do. It's what good families do. You can understand it. Banking rules will avoid the financial crisis repeat. There's an article in City AM, and what they're saying is UK banks are better prepared than they have been in the past to withstand a jump in home loan defaults amid a surge in mortgage rates. And that's because they tightened up the criteria for lending back in 2008 following the banking crisis. And when they did that, what it meant was you needed larger deposits and to be in a better situation to get those mortgages in the first place, meaning that you will have more equity as of right now than you would have done had they left those slack rules in place. So what we find now is that when things are tight, if you've got that bit more equity, and you're far less likely to default than if you are much closer to the price that you paid. Of course, that doesn't help everybody, but for those who bought some years ago, certainly they'll be sitting on substantial equity. And they say that the majority of UK banks are sitting on piles of excess capital, regardless of the fact that the interest rates have risen. On interest rates, by the way, still expecting them to go up, and the next increase is going to be on the 2nd of February, I believe. That's the next MPC, Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Gut feeling, 0.5% max, maybe a quarter point this time, because we are starting to see the effects of these interest rate rises coming through in the data. What will happen for the rest of this year? Well, widely analysts believe that it's going to peak at about 4.5%, I think 4% is probably the number it will peak at, but it could be up to 4.5%. Nobody can really say for sure. You can only take a gut stab in the dark because it depends on inflation figures, and no one can really control those. You can't be sure of exactly what that's going to be. Nonetheless, another thing, that's an article in City AM. Now, private renters could save £570 a year if ministers act on energy efficiency. This is about raising the standard, and they're talking about raising it to a C, as many of you will know, by 2025. And this would amount to big savings for tenants. Well, that's true. But what they're saying is ministers began a consultation on raising the requirement in 2020 with a view to forcing landlords to meet the C standard, EPC rating of C standard by 2025 for new tenancies in 2028 for existing. But these proposals are yet to be turned into legislation. And E3G said tenants are facing sky-high bills and therefore energy is wasted. The government has an oven-ready set of... They love that word. That was a Boris Johnson word, wasn't it? Oven-ready set of regulations to fix this. Now they need to put it into law. However, the NRLA, that's the National Residential Landlords Association, said that even if the government took action now, it would be too late to introduce those rules by 2025. So no doubt those rules will be coming down the pipeline. But bear in mind, even then they were talking about for existing tenancies that's starting in 2028. And actually, that was in December 2028, so you might as well say 29. And that was then. So now, if they bring them forward, it probably won't be 2025. It will be more like they come in 2028, and it will probably be 2032 or so before it applies to existing tenancies. Remains to be seen, but it will be interesting to watch what goes on there. But one thing we know for sure, it's not yet enshrined in law. So the whole 2025 C rating thing looks like it's going out the window. And the Renters Reform Act, similarly, is kicked into long grass at the moment. We don't yet know when that's coming into legislation, but it looks like it's going to be a while yet. So apart from that, it's a great day here in SW16. We're just about to go into our meeting to make sure we've got everything right for the week, and we talk about how we can serve you, our customers, better. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching, as always, and we'll be back same time tomorrow. Until then, look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.
Well, that makes sense. All right, then. Well, that one's